Hi guys, it's Nathan. Today I'm going to teach you how to basically set up your own business. So we're going to start off with creating a website for free. And on this website, it will be a completely custom website. So we're not going to be using any sort of back-end platform, which means you have complete flexibility over it. And the languages that we'll be using today are HTML5 and CSS, which is pretty much what the whole of the internet are based on. Um, like I said, it is completely free, although I will give you a few paid options if you wanted to do something a bit more sort of specialist, but you'll be keeping this well under $50. So to start off with, I'll put this link in the description. The website is called HTML5 Up, and it is a collection of really nice free templates, free website templates you can download and customize. And it's completely open source, which means there's no sort of copyright or anything like that. So you're pretty much free to do whatever you want with them. So if you wanted to make a blog, for example, here's a blog style template. I'm going to be using this one, which is called Stellar. Don't think because it's free that it's not any good. I've actually used this exact template before to grow a six-figure business. It was an Instagram marketing company that I used to set up. Sorry, that I used to have. And yeah, I grew that business to six figures using a free template. If you want more sort of premium and a lot more sort of options, you can come over to like ThemeForest, or you can just even Google online free HTML templates, and you'll be able to find. I mean, on ThemeForest, they're going to have thousands, yeah, like 15,000 items. So there's going to be a lot more options for you there. But I recommend keeping the prices down to start with. You can always upgrade later. We're also going to need a code editor. So in for this, I'm using Brackets, which is another free and open source code editor. I think it's only for Mac, but I'm not too sure. If not, I'll put a link to it in the description, and I'll also put one down there for Windows, which you can use. From your code editor, you want to open up the file you've just downloaded, which is going to be zipped, I believe. So you want to unzip it and then open the folder, HTML5 up Stellar. And okay, so we've now opened the project. So if you're not familiar with HTML at all, I'm just going to give you a very sort of simple and basic overview of it. I'm not an expert programmer at all. I understand everything technically, and I have developers who work for me full time, and I instruct them. But I'm not a developer by any means. But I can build sort of custom websites. So basically, for your website, everything is going to start with an index.html. This is like the homepage of your website. So if we click this button in the top right hand corner, this is going to give us a live preview of the website, and this is just being hosted locally. So this is our own website. As you can see here, it says Stellar, which is the exact same thing we downloaded. And just to give you a little example, I'm going to change some of the text here just so you can see the updates being performed in real time. So for this business, I'm just going to do a Twitter marketing business and just make up some random text. I mean, you're welcome to do whatever business you want, but essentially we're just going to change all of the text here. I know when you're looking at this page of code, I remember when I first saw it, I was so intimidated, um, and I really had no idea what I was looking at or anything like that, and I was just so sort of scared by it all. But just to explain it in its most simple form, if you look at my screen now, the only thing that we're really looking to change at this point in time is the black text. Anything on my screen that is either blue, green, or orange is actual code, and we don't need to play around with it. But everything in black text is actual text being displayed on this page. For example, if we click here, um, we can do H2 and change grow your Twitter. And you'll see it changes here. If you can't find where the actual spot is, we can just copy and paste it and then do Control F and Control V, and it will find where it is inside your actual document, and you can change the text from there. So that is basically the simplest way to get started with with programming. This is HTML, which is pretty much everything that the internet is based off of. It's called hypertext markup language, or markup for short, or HTML. So from here, you just want to change all of the text. I won't bore you with I won't bore you with me changing it, but essentially all we want to do is change the text here to be sort of relevant for your business. And yeah, I'm also going to show you, just in case you are using the same template. Right here, they're using a plugin called Font Awesome, which again is completely free. The one thing that you will find is that developers are exceedingly helpful. There's a lot of free stuff online. There's a lot of articles and stuff online. So if you aren't sure about what to do, there's a very good website called Stack Overflow, and pretty much any issue that you have whilst you're programming, the one thing to remember is that someone has had it before you. So you can literally just go on Google, how to change button color in HTML, and you'll find help. You know, whatever you're looking to do. This W3 Schools is very good, and the other one that's really good is Stack Overflow, which you can see here. There's some exceedingly clever people online, and they'll literally just tell you exactly what to do. Back to this, if you're looking to change the icons, essentially we're making a what we would call a call to the Font Awesome platform. So I'm going to change to like a smiley face. So you just click on whatever icon you want to use. So the first thing to do is install a script. So best practices are to put your script at the bottom of the page, and so it loads last, and it's not sort of blocking your website from loading. So that's basically how it works. You load a website from top to bottom. So if you have a very large file at the top, you're making a very large call at the top, it will slow down the speed at which your website loads. So once that has been pasted, now that is basically, in its simplest way, has made a connection between your website and this Font Awesome website. So it's basically a website plugin that they're allowing us to use. So from here, I've now made a new connection, and it's now changed to a smiley face. I'm just going to do another example of that. Let's say we want to change to a settings, like type cog. Here we get the code, so it's FA-cog. So this second one is currently a folder. Now I'm going to change it to FA cogs. And if we come back over here, you'll see it's now changed. So that is the simplest way to do it. If you want to, I think that I'll try and keep it very simple for now. Maybe I'll do another advanced video after this of where you can add images and things like that to this web page. But let's keep it very simple for now. Just change those icons. Everything there, we change all of the template text, and from here I'm going to show you how to start accepting payments. Now, in future, I would look to add something like Stripe, but this is a much larger task. You know, if we're going to do something really quick, I'm just going to recommend PayPal, because we can have it up and running within 10 minutes, if I can remember my password, that is. Okay, bang. So I'm now in PayPal. What you're going to want to do is go into All Tools. PayPal is very, very fast to set up. So rather than waiting for someone else to set or to set something up, I just recommend you just get started with this, and then later on you can look to do a more advanced payment integration with Stripe, for example. So so I've just clicked the wrong button. You want to create an embedded button. Sure why the internet is so slow. PayPal buttons. Here we go. So I only work with subscription businesses. So in this little one, I'm just going to show you how to create a button very quickly. This will take live payment. So if you put it up on your website, the second someone clicks it, it will go through. So we'll do Twitter management. Billing amount, let's say 39 USD per month. Billing cycle 1 month. I want to offer a trial period. Let's do a $1 $5 charge just to check that it is actually valid, and then we'll do a 3-day free trial. And then what we want to do, I don't need customers' postal address. And when they finish the checkout, we're going to put in mywebsite.com/success. We're going to have to change this later, assuming that you want to put them onto a new page once they've checked out to say thank you for the order, or anything like that. But just so you know, that's where you do it. From here, copy the code that they give you here, and then on my website, where should I put it? In fact, I'm not going to use the PayPal button. I'm going to copy the email section, and let's say on this little learn more button, I'm going to use it. So what we would do is change this. Href, it basically means a link, so it will link back to another page. As you see, we have generic HTML here, which is what it's linking to currently. That is what the button will currently put you to if you link there. Or we could put in facebook.com, and the button will now be a link to facebook.com. So you can literally change whatever you want. And for this, we're going to put in the code that I've just copied. Click save, and it is now going to be a live link to the PayPal button where a customer will be able to check out and buy from us. There, as you can see, when they click the button, they're directed to this page. $1 for 3 days and $39 per month, which is exactly what we wanted to show them. I'm just going to change the text as well. Like I said, just edit the black text, and we'll just change to buy or claim free trial. Just a little tip for you: adding free to buttons increases click-through rates because everyone likes something that is free. There we go. So now when a user clicks that, they're going to be taken through to there. Another one I'm going to show you quickly is, let's say on this second learn more button, which I've just seen down here, let's make it a contact us. So for this, we're going to do mail to, and then whatever your email address is, contact I'll do increasegrowth.com, which is one of my companies. Now when someone presses that, it's going to open up their email client and automatically go through to send an email through to you. So that's a good way to do things. Down here, as you can see in the footer, you have links to Twitter, so links to your sort of social media platform. So what you want to do here is get the actual hyperlink to your Twitter and then just replace it there. So that way, when someone clicks on the button, they're going to be taken straight through to your page. I'm going to have to delete Instagram and Facebook as I am permanently banned. But yeah, obviously you can use them. So you just want to edit this hashtag, the href. So now I'll just give you one quick example. If I refresh the page now, when someone clicks on the Twitter logo, they'll be taken through to Twitter. If you want them to be redirected in a new tab, so it doesn't actually load the existing page, it opens a new tab for them, you're going to add here just after this little href tag, do target blank, untarget underscore blank, and that will then, I'll refresh the page, that will take them through. You see it opens as a new tab instead of replacing the current window. So that is probably going to be the best thing to do. You're going to have to add it all on there. Down the bottom, finally, I'm just going to change the I haven't got a name for this website yet, but increase growth and bang, done. So that is how you set up a website. Now the only issue that you have is this is currently being stored locally on your own computer, so no one can actually access it. This is a locally generated server, so to speak. So we have a few options here. If you want to create if you want it to be completely free, we can use something like GitHub. If you want to use a paid service, which I would recommend, it depends on your balance, but we can get you on a paid service for literally $5. So I'm going to recommend that we go ahead with that. I'll show you how to connect to a server and set it up, and then you can add your custom domain to the server. If you want a free one, then you're going to need a GitHub account, and I'll just show you it very quickly. 264. So you want to create a GitHub account, your profile. I'm going to show the paid version straight after this, but just for anyone who wants to have a free one. Create an account on GitHub, go into repositories, click new repository, nathaston.github.io. So whatever your username is in the first part, then .github.io. Add git ignore. I haven't done this in a while. Add license, MIT, create repository. Now you just want to do upload files, and those files that we've just been working on, you want to open the folder first, actually. Downloads, Stella, upload, and we're now uploading all of the files. So GitHub is a service that was recently acquired by Microsoft, but it's like a sort of social media community for programmers, and this is just a little thing they offer where you can host a free website. This is, I hosted my first business on here for free because I literally didn't have money to invest in it, and I was taking payments off there. I was making money off there. I was making about $4,000 per month off this first business that was hosted here. So it does work, but just for the sake of $5 per month, I would suggest that you use the server, just because you have much more flexibility and security. Did I not push that update? Okay, that's strange. I'm not sure why those files didn't upload. Upload files. We'll do it again. Ah, sorry, that's why. Stupid mistake. There we go. Everything's uploaded, and then commit changes means pushing the changes to basically to this server. So what we'll do is we'll say initial website upload, uploading first version of new website. It's just nice to keep some little documentation, because when you're pushing a lot of changes through, you want to it just helps to be able to come back and see what you've done, and maybe if you pushed a bug, you can see exactly which one caused the error. Now that we're here, I'm going to quickly show the paid version once that is all operating. So I would do DigitalOcean is my favorite web hosting service. Just choose a $5 per month thing. It's £3 per month. It's literally nothing. Choose where you want it located. Just for the fun of things, I'm going to go with Singapore. So I just got back from there. Choose the name of the server. I'm not sure what to call it. Twitter marketing, for the sake of it. Okay, that's now being set up. GitHub is also processing the files. I'll show you very quickly how to upload files to the server. This is going to be a little bit technical, but I promise you, once you've done it once, it becomes very easy. Termius is what's called an SHL client, as SSH client, sorry. So we will be we'll be logging into the actual sort of back end of this server we've set up. If you were using GitHub, if you're using the free service, you don't need to bother doing this. This is just for if you want to use a paid server. Okay, here we go. So this is the name of the server. This is the IP address, sorry, of the server. So download something like Termius. We do SSH root at, and then the IP address. We've just had the password emailed through to us. We copy that. We log into the server. Paste the password in there when it asks for it, and now the first thing it's going to ask you again is the current password and then a new password. So I will just set the new password, set it to obviously whatever you want. There we go. We don't need to install anything right now. That server is now up and running. So what I'm going to do now is we use something called FTP protocol, which establishes a connection between your local desktop and the new server that you've just set up. So using the credentials you've just made, first off, we're going to copy the IP address once again. Password, we want it to be what we got, the password that you just changed, sorry, and connect. Now I'm going to show you how to navigate through. So we're going to go to the very base of the server, which is called server up here, if you see on the screen. Then we go into var. Right, we haven't got Apache 2 installed. Okay. So I'll put this command down in the I'll put this command down below in the description, so you can just copy and paste it. So you go update. There we go. Running a little update. Just making sure everything is up to date. You can show off to all of your friends doing this, because they're going to have no idea what's going on. They're going to think you're a computer hacker. But really, it's very easy. All we're doing is copying and pasting commands, and I don't know the commands off the top of my head. I only know a few. But okay, so we've now installed that. Then we come back over here. Let's refresh this, and you now see a folder called www. Apache is our web server, is what is actually going to display the page for us. There we go. And now with the files, the same as we did with GitHub, just this time we're going to drag and drop them over directly. Connecting to server. There we go. So you now actually have a functioning website. If we copy the IP address again, we paste it up here, you are now being taken to our live website. Okay, there's some type of CSS error. Why is that happening? Shift-R. There we go. Sorry, I think the files hadn't finished uploading. There you go. So this is now an actual website. So if you went onto this server, right now, if you put in this IP address, you would be able to view this, and you would also be able to purchase from my business and check out. Obviously, we don't want people to be buying from a server from us. So I would suggest, I'm going to start off with I usually buy my domains from Google Domains, just because it's really easy, and you can also use Gmail. You can use a custom Gmail and set up your own email within like five minutes. So it's just very handy, really. And it costs about £10. I think it's about $10 as well if you're doing it in the US or wherever your base is. Really, it's not a huge expense, and it's just worthwhile getting a custom domain for your website. No one is going to want to order from a bare IP address. This looks a bit dodgy. Okay, so let me find the perfect one. Let's do supercharge dash Twitter. Now it's just a case of finding a domain that isn't taken. Okay, good. Supercharge Twitter is available. I'll buy that domain. Okay, so I've now bought the domain. Sorry, I just had to edit out all of the card details, but yeah, you should have now checked out, and then we just simply do manage. I'm going to introduce you to a free tool as well. So this is Cloudflare. It's an incredible tool. It's completely free to get started with. It's going to make your website faster. second. So yeah, it's going to make your website faster. Um, and it also increases security. If someone tries to attack your website, they will actually stand in front of your website to completely protect it. So yeah, there's just a million and one reasons that you should be using them. First thing that we're going to do is enter DNS. I'm going to open these two windows next to each other just so it's a bit easier to manage. And up here, we're going to do add site, super, whatever domain you just bought, you're going to enter here, Supercharged Twitter. Okay, obviously we're going to do a free one. We're not quite ready for $200 per month. Confirm. There we go. Okay, it's going to take 60 seconds and it's going to give us a few instructions. So essentially, we're going to update to custom name servers. Name servers, if I guess the simplest way of explaining it is choosing where we're pointing our server to, that is in what we want it to display. So we're attaching our domain. For example, my one is Supercharged Twitter. We're attaching this to Cloudflare, who sort of stand in the middle. And then on the far right hand, we have the server. So domain points to Cloudflare, and Cloudflare stand in front of our server and sort of protect it from anything. They serve all of our traffic, and then we then redirect the traffic from there over to I guess that doesn't matter. Over to our actual base server that we just set up with DigitalOcean. Username server 1 and Carter, and second is going to be Lola. Save. Tell Cloudflare you've done that, and that's all been done. That's been updated. It's going to take about 15 minutes for this to go through. See, I'm now queued to be updated. In the meantime, I'll show you exactly how to, if we're assuming that you want to, how to set up a custom email address. So for this, let's say get G Suite. I don't really need it, but I'm just going to do it for the sake of it. In fact, no, I'm just going to show you how to do it. So in this case, we're going to do or Supercharged Twitter. Well, or you could use your first name and last name if you want. And then for this, I'm just going to do contact. So you'd be setting up contact at superchargedtwitter.com or contact or whatever your email is, or I could do Nathan at Supercharged Twitter. And basically, you then do next, choose the $3.30 plan is what I have all my businesses on, and you're done. And that would literally be set up in 5 minutes. And it is a Gmail address. Although it's a custom email, it's still Gmail, which just makes it much easier to plug into everything, which is why I prefer to use this method. You can log into gmail.com and log into it. All email clients pretty much have a built-in Gmail integration, which just makes everything sort of much easier. Great news. Cloudflare is now protecting your site. So if I now do supercharge dash, okay, so next up we need to go into DNS, and we need to tell Cloudflare to point towards our new website here, which is, so we're going to set up an A record. We'll do at add record, CNAME at no, sorry, why am I doing that? www, and this way, if someone does www.superchargedtwitter.com, they'll now be pointing to that domain at. There we go. And now you see if someone goes onto superchargedtwitter.com, like I've just done, they're immediately pointed to this domain. So we now actually have a fully functioning website with a custom domain, custom email address, and if someone clicks the claim free trial button, they're redirected to PayPal and we're able to take payments from them. So you've now set up a fully functioning business and website within 35 minutes. It is able to take payments online and it has customer support. I'm just going to give you a few quick things I'm going to suggest that you complete. First off, this is called an SSL certificate, which, for example, as you see now, if we go onto our website, or it will say not secure. Now we want to get that fixed, so it looks like this. And there's a padlock there, and if you click it, it says connection is secure. So we can do that for free. Cloudflare automatically give this to you for free, which is very nice. And I would leave it on flexible. Just simply tick this box. Always use HTTPS security, which means it will redirect everything over to HTTPS, which means you'll get that little tick. It will take about 24 hours for the padlock to come through. Sometimes it can be a little less. We can also go on to speed, and these are just some little optimizations I suggest you perform. Minify HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. This compresses down the file, which makes it faster to load, which means your website will load faster. Rocket Loader we can turn on just for the sake of it, but really there's no real need because we're not using any JavaScript actually, I believe. But you never know, in future you may be looking to do it. For this, I would do standard. You've got caching turned on, browser cache. I would maybe turn up to 4 days, and yeah, that's pretty much everything. Yeah, so you have a fully functioning website set up. I'll create a bit more of a series just going on from here on how to add a few more sort of software plugins and things that I recommend. How to set up Google Analytics, maybe how we can improve our website a bit more, how we can optimize the page speed, and a few other things we can do to deliver a better experience to our visitors and get more customers. And then maybe I'll look into actually sort of marketing the business and acquiring some customers. If we do get some customers for it, I'm sure we will. It's just a case of how much time I can dedicate to this project. Then we could look into upgrading our payment solution to for something a bit better than PayPal. But for now, PayPal serves its purpose. We get the money instantly, which is a big benefit, especially for an early stage business. So yeah, congratulations. You now have your first company up and running, and you can take payments and start marketing the business. Congratulations, and thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this and you want more guides and tutorials around anything sort of technical or marketing, please let me know what you'd like to see, and I'll happily put some